Hello and welcome to the Stashion Diaries. Today is a special episode. It is about time that I do a recap of my 12 cast-ons from the end of last year. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jen. This is my YouTube channel where I talk all about my knitting projects and plans with a focus on knitting from my stash as much as possible. And last year I joined a make-along that is hosted by Angela of the Yarn and Yarns YouTube channel, which I will have linked down below. And I will tell you a little bit about that before I get into the recap. So what I'm going to do is I am going to talk about what the 12 cast-ons are, what the make-along is, in case anybody hasn't heard of it. And then I will recap what my cast-ons were last year one by one and reveal whether I finished them or not. And then I will talk about the scheduling plan for this year's 12 cast-ons. So, Angela, Yarn and Yarns. I first heard about this through Robin and Sylvie, who have the Grumpy Sheep Happy Llama YouTube channel, which I will also link down below. When I first heard about it from them, I thought it was bonkers, to be honest. And that is probably your reaction too. But after I thought about it, it would make sense for me because I don't like casting on. I like getting into the meat of the project. So casting on is not my favorite, and wrangling the first row and stuff. So it made sense to me to have 12 projects all cast on and ready to go for the years, weeks, months ahead. So I went to Angela's YouTube channel and I really enjoyed watching her previous 12 cast-ons videos, and so I recommend them. You should go watch them too. They're very enjoyable. So I watched her previous 12 cast-on videos, and it gave me a little inspiration maybe for what I wanted to cast on. I wanted them to be all projects for myself because I do a lot of gift knitting. So I wanted to set myself up, make sure that I was looking after myself as well, basically, and not forgetting about myself with my projects. So I chose things that I had yarn for already in stash and just what my heart desired at that particular time. So I went ahead and I cast one on each day from the 21st of December to the 1st of January. So I go by winter solstice or Yule, the start of Yule to the end of Yule, because the 21st means a lot to me as an outdoorsy person and somebody who likes to spend time out in nature. It is the shortest day of the year. It means we are returning to longer days. So that is why I start at that point in time. I'm not sure what I'm trying to remember from watching her videos. I know now she does until the end of January, and anybody participating in the make-along can do until the end of January. But I was doing one each day for 12 days last year. So, yeah, so I guess I will get started on what I did last year. I'm gonna make sure everything is here. Okay. So, what I cast on the 21st of December last year was these flying geese mitts. And as you can see, I finished them. So that's the other thing too, you don't have to finish the project within the year. The point is to get some things cast on and finish them at your convenience. So some of these projects are not going to be finished, but these ones are. And I'm just going to tell you, these are like one of my favorite pairs of mitts ever in the history of my mitts. And I've knit a lot of mitts and used a lot of mitts. So the yarn is from Gasbro Valley Fibers, which is a great yarn store here in Nova Scotia. It's in the Annapolis Valley, in the Gasbro Valley. And they have their own sheep, their own Cotswold sheep, and that is what this wool is. So you can go in there, you can buy a kit. I think it was like $50-something, but oh my goodness. So it is a little bit of a splurge, but you have to remember that you're buying from a sheep farmer directly, supporting a small business. It takes a lot of work to process or raise the sheep and process the wool. So yeah, totally worth it. And they make absolutely glorious mitts. The pattern was with the kit. It's not one that's like online or anything like that. But I would absolutely get this yarn again and knit these again, because these are my go-to shoveling mitts. Like, they're just fantastic, and they get better and better as they kind of like felt up a little bit more. So that is the first project. I forgot to mention too that I'm having trouble with the lighting today because the sun is so low in the sky that it's like pointing right in. So I had to pull the blind down about halfway. So yeah, I might end up moving around a little bit to try to get better lighting, but anyway. Okay, so the second project that I cast it on December 22nd, and it is what I'm wearing right now. It is the Cororean poncho by Amy Palco. And I used a discontinued yarn for this. It was in my stash for a long time. I actually won it at Bedeck Yarns, which was a local yarn shop here. I won it on either an anniversary event or local yarn shop day or something like that. And it was a kit for something else, but I wasn't feeling the project that it was knit or was intended for at the time. So Amy Palco has this wonderful pattern. It is, oh, I mentioned it's a discontinued yarn. It's Sugar Bush Rapture. So there's some alpaca in here. And anyway, yeah, I love this thing. So yeah, I cast it on December 22nd. I had it finished, I can't remember when, but it wasn't very long into the year when I had this one finished. And my mom has seen it and now she would like one too. So there will probably be another one. I think the pattern is written for a DK weight, but this is a worsted weight or light worsted weight. So yeah, this is the second one that I knit. Absolutely love it. I have my first still work in progress project that I cast on. This one was cast on December 23rd, and it is the Augusta lace scarf by Bella Helms. And this is one where you hold together two lace weight yarns, but I am holding the same lace weight yarn together with itself. And I don't think I picked this up since I cast it on, which is a shame because it's an adorable little scarf. I'm knitting it out of cashmere yarn. This yarn was one that was discounted at Bedeck Yarns. It was one that was, I think, dyed there. It was her own colorway. Well, like her pink was her thing. So it was sitting in my stash for a really long time. And as a lot of my lace weights do, I recently discovered, hey, maybe I should hold them together and use them up. So that is what I wanted to do with this one. And I am going to get back into knitting this because it's a really nice scarf. One of those little ones that, like in the pictures on the Ravelry page, she has it tied around her head. She has it tied onto a bag. She has it tied around her neck adorably. You know how like those popular little scarves are right now. But yeah, so that is the Augusta lace scarf. Still a work in progress. Living in a project bag that I won from a Grocery Girls knit along. This is Prairie Dye Studio. I love that. So yeah, so that is the first one we're coming across that I have not yet finished. But I will keep it on the needles and I will pick it up again probably in January. You're gonna have to forgive the look of the next one because I had been wearing them and they need to be washed. So these are the Homebody socks by Helen Stewart. They were my Christmas Eve cast on last year. And here they are. So like I said, they're all stretched out and stuff because yeah, I had just been wearing them like yesterday. There's cat hair and dog hair and everything on them. Take a look at that. Sorry I didn't make them a little more presentable, but I didn't think of it until when I was gathering things up, and I just didn't have time to wash them and block them and everything. So I don't block my socks after I wash them normally. I just dry them on the heaters in the house. But anyway, the yarn is Timber Yarns in their DK weight, because it's a DK weight sock. The Homebody socks were part of one of Helen's knit vents, and that was another thing I was trying to do. I was trying to knit patterns that I've already purchased, so this one fit the bill. Anyway, I think the colorway name of this one is Kindness Matters. It is one of my favorite of their colorways. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I really love Timber Yarns. So yeah, so that is the one that was my Christmas Eve cast on. As you can see, they are finished and well loved. The next pattern is one that was also finished. This is the warm-up sweater by Espace Tricot. I knit this one out of Drops Air. I can't remember the name of the colorway. Like, they're in numbers. I think it's like medium gray, maybe. But here it is. I knit this for wearing over dresses, so it's a little bit cropped. Whenever I knit things to wear over dresses, I do make them a little bit cropped. But this, I love this sweater. I love the feel of it. It is so soft. It's softer than what I'm wearing right now. But yeah. Did I say it was Drops Hair? Yes, I did. Okay. Just a nice top-down raglan, easy to knit, easy to follow pattern, enjoyable fabric. I know it's like going to pill a bit over time, but probably some people say it doesn't pill as much as you would expect this yarn to pill. I would absolutely knit with this yarn again. I still have a little bit left over that I'm going to knit into a hat for myself, because I also knit a hat out of this yarn for my niece last year, I think. So anyway, yeah, definitely love this one. Would recommend. So the warm-up sweater was my Christmas Day cast on. This one is my Boxing Day cast on, and it is the Noel Scarflet by Helen Stewart. And this one was part of her Knit Vent patterns last year, and I wanted to knit one from that collection. I'm going to try to make sure I knit something from that year's Knit Vent, if possible, whenever I do the 12 cast-ons. But this is just an adorable little scarf. As you can see, I finished it. I love the little lace portion in the middle. Like, you can have the lace in the front and just pull it around and maybe tie it to the side or something just to keep your neck warm. I got yarn in the poncho in the way, so it's not quite working, but it knit up fairly quickly. So I knit this out of a Cape Breton yarn. It is the Opulent Alpaca. I think it was DK weight, but I'm not 100% sure. But I would 100% knit this again. I just absolutely love it. Really glad I chose this as one of my 12 cast-ons. As you can see, like there's a big variety in the things that I chose, and that'll probably happen again this year, depending on, I think I kind of went by like what yarns I was in the mood to knit. So yeah, so that was the Noel Scarflet by Helen Stewart. On the 27th, I cast on another pair of socks and finished them. These are the Sliptastic socks by Nancy Wheeler, and the yarn is Pretty String. I think the colorway is called Unicorn Burps. Yeah, it's her DK weight. And it was a yarn that I purchased, I think, in 2024 and wanted to use. I'm kind of doing the same thing this year, is trying to do a mix of yarns that I purchased this year and yarns that have been in my stash for a long time, because I don't want the ones that I purchased this year to languish. And I also have like a rule in my stash down where I'm supposed to knit the yarns that I purchase within 30 days. Like, I'm supposed to cast them on within 30 days, and I have not been following that rule very well. So I want to kind of make up for that by having, like, I think half of my cast-ons be from 2025 yarn. But anyway, that's what I did with this one last year, and I absolutely adore these. They were in last week's wash, and I haven't worn them yet, so they're still not stretched out or anything. I use these just as house socks. I don't wear them in shoes or anything like that because I want them to stay in good shape for a very long time, because I think that this yarn is just absolutely glorious. So yeah, that is the Sliptastic socks by Nancy Wheeler in the Pretty String yarn. We're on to another one that I neglected, and I'm actually pretty sad about it. So these are the Woodland winter socks. Oh my goodness, I stole their needles as well. So I think I'm going to restart these all together, because I think I might have actually messed up the cuff. I'm pretty sure I did. So I think these have to be reknit. So yeah, the 28th I cast on the Woodland winter socks by Carly Perrins. I absolutely love Carly's patterns, and I want to knit so many more of them. I'm going to restart these today. So so it's a pattern bundle of 3. There's 3 pairs of socks in it. And I picked 2 of the 3 to knit out of alternating like yarns. So one would be, this would be the main color, this would be the heel, cuffs, and toes, and then vice versa on the other pair of socks. So yeah, if you want, you can do multiples of things on a cast on day. I kind of did this on a whim, and then I was watching Angela, and she cast on a bunch of socks on one day. So I was like, cool, all right, I'm not out in left field here doing this. But yeah, I feel bad that these were not finished this year because I really want the socks, but I just get so distracted, well, mainly by gift knitting, because I knit birthday gifts all year, and then I get into, of course, the Christmas gifts, and some of my stuff, like I said, it gets neglected. So I am going to redo these today, actually. Oh, I didn't talk about the yarn. So this is discontinued. This is Lizzie Ann Yarns. It is left over from my Love Note sweater, and it is Toasted Marshmallow, I think. But yeah, like I said, it's discontinued. I absolutely loved their yarns. I think I have one skein other than this one left in my stash, and then this one is Lichen and Lace. I can't remember the colorway. It is something cinnamony, I'm pretty sure, but I love how they go together. So yeah, this one is going to get its needles back today. I know I have a set down there that doesn't have anything on it, so I am going to restart these. I don't know whose bag is this now. This is Stitch Life Bags, made in Colorado. I don't think they ship to Canada anymore, but I managed to get this one. Beauty and the Beast is my all-time favorite movie, so love that bag. I don't know how this is going to work because Piper is resting her head on my last cast on. So yeah, we'll see what happens when I get to that one. The one that I cast on the 29th is also still a work in progress, but I tried with this one. I really did. This one was knit beyond what I knit the day of the cast on. And it is my Halibut sweater by Caitlin Hunter. And this is how far I got with it. There it is. So this one is going to get a lot of love in January because I'd really like to have this off the needles and be wearing it. The yarn is Sandnes Garn Sunday Morning DK. Hang on a sec. No, Sandnes Garn Double Sunday. I was close, but not quite there. Yeah, so this colorway is 6580, and then I'm using like a sort of creamy color, which is 2511, and I'm only saying the colors because I have them right here. Other colors I don't remember really. Some I do, some I don't, like the timber yarns and stuff I remembered. But yeah, so I got into the color work, into the weeds of it, but it definitely needs more love. I enjoy how it's working up. And like I said, really looking forward to wearing it. And whose bag is it living in? Oh, Bags by Awesome Granny. This is like one of the most me bags that there ever was, because there's forest, there's books, there's tea somewhere in here. But yeah, very me. On December 30th, I cast on another pair of socks, and it's the Lucky Cable Socks by Dana Ray Makes. And I did work on them more in the year. Oh, I actually finished one. I completely forgot that. So did I cast on the next one? No, of course I didn't. Maybe I'll do that today too. Maybe it'll be Love My 12 Cast-Ons Day. But this is knit out of Timber Yarns, and it is their work sock bundles. And they are glorious. I am going to put this on a sock blocker so you can actually see the cables. It's a little better. Oh, no, you can't see them because they're marled. I assure you that they are visible, but they are very enjoyable in person. I don't know if you could see that. You can see they're right there. But yeah, more Timber Yarns. I really want to finish these as well. They still have their needles in the bag at least, so... And I might need those needles for a cast on, so maybe I should get cooking with these, although I still have Christmas knits to do. So if I keep talking about all the possibilities of knitting things, I will get overwhelmed. So I'm just going to commit to fixing the situation with the Woodland winter socks, and maybe wait until January to look after the rest of them. So, what bag is this one? I don't know if they're still making bags. Oh, Freckled Whimsy. Love this one. This is one that has, like, can't remember what you call it, stuff in between the fabric so that it's sturdier, and so you can use it as a bowl. So that's a good one. We're almost done with what I knit. Okay, so I did have a frog. Something went to the frog pond, and it was the Winter League pullover by Two of Wands. The reason being was that it is out of a chunky weight yarn, and I don't know if I'm feeling the chunky sweaters anymore. When I knit other ones, I didn't give them that much attention. So unless I knit it like super loose maybe, but anyway, I frogged that one. I'm going to use the yarn, I'm thinking, for a poncho that I've had in my Ravelry library for a long time. I think I'd be able to handle a thick poncho instead, rather than a pullover with the chunky yarn like glued to my arms. I don't know, unless I knit it loose. We'll see. It's just the yarn is frogged and it is sitting over there. It is Cascade Eco Plus, so, and it's in a navy colorway. It is still over in its same project bag hanging out in the corner of shame. It's not shameful. I'm sorry, yarn, you're not shameful. All right, so the final one I have to grab before Piper rests her head on it. This was my January 1st cast on. This was a super fun one. I'm gonna maybe take some of the yarn out of this so it's not crinkling. Yeah, I had bagged scraps in here because it's housing my northeasterly blanket, and it is the Scraw Bucket Bag by Teresa Lou, and I knit this out of worsted and DK held double because I wanted a larger bag, because it is housing a whole blanket. So it is two layered. So you knit, and you knit this part, and then you knit back down again, if my memory serves. I don't know, but it has a drawstring. I think my cats tried to chew this a bit. Oh yeah, they definitely did. Look at this. Look what I have to deal with. Anyway. But I loved this. I used up a bunch of scraps. It was so satisfying. And yeah, so this is, oh, you know what? I finished a row. That's why the needles aren't on the blanket. They are in here. This is my Sew Sandy Sew needle keeper. but yeah, it's the northeasterly. And I've been keeping a bunch of self-striping yarns because it is a self-striping yarn northeasterly in here. I put the kind of like uglier yarns or uglier yarn combinations, I should say, on the inside, and did the marling on the outside. So it was mostly worsted weight yarns that are on the inside, and then because I love the look of marled yarns, so I put those on the outside. But anyway, and then I did the I-cord out of some Patton's Croy scraps. I might have to do a new one if they keep getting their little teeth on this, but so yeah, so this one was a finish. Yeah, 4 whips, 1 frog, and 7 finishes, right? Yes. Okay, so come January, I'm going to give these projects a little more love, the ones that have not been finished, but as you can see, the ones that I've finished are well loved. And that is what I aim for with my 12 cast-ons for this year. So I'm still in the process of finalizing my 12 cast-ons. It is December 7th. I keep like switching things up and everything. I think today I'm going to take some time to paw at my yarn a little bit and try to decide. Some things are locked in for sure. At least half of them, probably more than half, are locked in. So it'll be similar to last year as far as what the projects are. There'll be a mix of accessories and garments. A scrappy project will be amongst them. Something from Knit Vent will be amongst them. What else? I'm changing the schedule up this year. So last year when I cast on each day, I did a little video clip, and it was a bit tedious over the Christmas holiday season, over those 12 days. And you all seem to really like cast-on parties, and I really like cast-on parties. So I am going to do 4 vloggy cast-on parties, very similar to the ones that I've done, where I kind of show a little bit of my day as well as what I've cast on. And there's going to be 4 days with 3 cast-ons each, I think. It depends on how much work. There might be some projects that I want to do more work on in that day than others, depending on how big they are. So we shall see. I think it's going to be 3 though. But anyway, so I am going to do one on the 21st, the 24th, the 28th, and the 1st. That is the plan right now, is those will be 4 days of cast-on parties. And yeah, running from the first day of Yule to the last day of Yule. And I hope that you will join me for that. And make sure you check out other YouTubers who are doing their 12 days of cast-ons as well. Like, of course, Angela of Yarn and Yarns and Robin and Sylvie of Grumpy Sheep Happy Llama. I think they're still doing it again this year. And I look forward to watching those as well, as I always do. So if you want to join in the make-along, definitely check out Angela's channel, and I think she has it in a Ravelry group. I've been bad to share my projects in the Ravelry thread, so it's kind of something that I'm just doing for myself so that I have a bunch of projects cast on for myself, and it's all done. I can get into the projects, but I'm not as much... I like seeing other people's projects, but I'm going into the thread and looking at them, but I'm not good at even posting my projects to the project pages when they're done. I still have a couple in there that don't have a picture on them and like marked as finished when they're finished. I've been really bad at looking after my Ravelry page lately, but anyway, I can catch up. It's fine. So that is all I have today. I am going to sign off now, and I will see you in my next regular video. And until then, take care.